Welcome my friends to the Discover Yourself series. Today we are going to discuss something very amazing, something which marks upon the basic fundamental question like, who am I? What is this world about? A person who lies down beneath the sky, he can look at the sky and he can question, so many stars, so many planets, why are they existing? Why is this world existing? In fact, what is the purpose of my existence? What is the goal of my life? Now you see, if you look on a football match and everything is going on fine, only one thing which is missing is the goal post. How much meaningful that match is. So my friends, this life also has a goal and there is a purpose to existence of everything. Today in this session we are going to look on the mastermind behind the mysterious universe. All of us, when we look onto the nature, we can understand that there is a sublime principle governing it. Nothing works automatically. In fact, if a small kid enters a room, he may think, oh, because I pressed the switch, that's why the fan turned on. It's just I who is controlling it. An intelligent grown-up person, he understands that there is a powerhouse. There is someone who is sitting there and he is supplying everything. It's not automatic. So, in fact, even in the nature, the wonderful organization, the wonderful artistry, the wonderful creation, who has done this? Who is a person? Who is the being behind it? Today we are going to understand him through some very logical and intellectual expressions. My friends, in order to make an artificial rose, we require some intelligence, some craftsmanship, some hard work. Now, don't you think that the original rose, which is having fragrance and biological complexity much more than our artificial rose, will it not require a creator? This simple example is not simple. This example can point out to something very, very meaningful, my friends. This beautiful organization which is working in the entire universe, Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharachara. It's working under the direction of Lord. You see, even in the animal species, take for example the bees, how they are going on, how their social structure is functioning. In fact, their social structure is something which we can derive so many lessons from. They are worker bees, queen bees, and they work so much in collaboration with each other. In fact, they have never went on strike. So my friends, which MBA institute the bee has went? From where the bee got the intelligence? You look at the spiders. These spiders, they produce the material which is so tough that when we tried to imitate it, although we could not do it very properly, but still when we tried to imitate it, we came out with the world's toughest artificial fiber, which is known as Kevlar. Now you see, from where this spider learned the art of making such an impeccable material. This is not by chance. In fact, nothing comes by chance. When we tell chance, we just understand that we are not going to the root cause. We are just looking at it from a superficial aspect. Scientists, they come together and they have developed supercomputers. Now you see, to develop a supercomputer, so much intelligence is required that even some people get Nobel Prizes. Now, what they are telling? They are telling that the brain has cells known as neurons, and these brain cells, they are as sophisticated as some of the most sophisticated supercomputers on the planet today. Now this brain is not made of one cell, it's made up of trillion brain cells like that. So if we are giving one Nobel Prize to our scientist, how many Nobel Prizes we should give to God? From the micro world to the macro world, there are precise laws governing. When the sun goes up in the sky and the light is coming, some uninformed person may think that the food which is being prepared by the plants, it's just coming automatically. But a chemical intelligent person who has the knowledge of chemistry, he knows 70 chemical reactions are taking place simultaneously. Who is governing it? When we come to the law of creation, in fact, I get reminded of a joke. Two people approached God and they said, "My Lord, we have advanced so much, don't need you. In fact, we can do anything and everything on our own will." God said, "Okay, my dear son, prove it by some demonstration." These people, they started making some structures. So first they took sand, they took cement, and while they were just going to proceed with the next step, God said, "Wait, these sand particles are mine." So my friends, in fact, when it comes to creation, we can just manipulate. We don't have much control over creation. From the micro world to the macro world, there is an impeccable design, precise design working. Scientists have proclaimed that when it comes to brain, there we are having trillion of brain cells. Each cell is more sophisticated than many of the sophisticated computers which we use in the planet today. When it comes to a cell, micrometer in size, it has 3 billion DNA molecules in it. When we come to Bravais lattices, there are specific, precise bond angles. Let's go to the macro world. Let me tell you a story. Sir Isaac Newton had a friend who was not a very firm believer in God. So once when he came to Sir Isaac Newton, he saw that there was a small-scale solar system model which Newton had prepared. He became very fascinated. He said, "Oh, I also want to make one for myself. Can you tell me how you have done it?" Sir Isaac Newton very coolly, calmly replied, "Today morning when I got up, what I found that this small scale solar system had just come like that, just came by chance." Friend said, "Good joke. Now please tell me how you made it." Sir Isaac Newton replied again, "Oh, just came like that." Friend got annoyed, was walking by. Isaac Newton exclaimed, My friend, if you are not able to believe that this small-scale solar system model has come by chance, how rational it is, how logical is it to think that this entire solar system, of which this is just a replica, this entire solar system has just come like that? How intelligent is it to believe in? We see satellites, when we are sending them to space, so many critical parameters we have to monitor. Tons of kgs of satellite, 24 hours a day, has to be monitored. Now, let us compare it with the satellite of Earth. So my friends, it becomes very clear that there is an intelligent designer behind all these intelligent design things.
Around 1200 AD, a man named Leonard Pisano, better known as Fibonacci, discovered a sequence of numbers that created a very interesting pattern. The sequence begins with the numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and continues indefinitely. Each number is obtained by adding the last two digits together. A rectangle with a length and width of any two of the numbers of this sequence forms what is known as the golden rectangle, a perfect rectangle. A golden rectangle can be broken down into squares the size of the next Fibonacci numbers down and below. If we were to take a perfect or golden rectangle, break it down into smaller squares based on Fibonacci's sequence, and divide each with an arc, the patterns begin to take shape. We begin to see Fibonacci's spiral. The spiral in and of itself is insignificant. Its importance is revealed in where we find it. Take, for example, the sunflower. The display of its florets are in perfect spirals of 55, 34, and 21, the sequence of Fibonacci. The fruitlets of the pineapple create the same spiral based on the sequence. The pine cone does the same. As currents move through the ocean and the tide rolls onto the shore, the waves that bring in the tide curve into a spiral that can be mathematically diagrammed onto a plot at the points 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and 55. Buds on trees, sand dollars, starfish, petals on flowers, and especially the nautilus shell are formed with this exact same blueprint. With each segment of growth, the nautilus adds to itself one more value on Fibonacci's scale. This blueprint can be seen around us on a small scale every day, but the greatest example of all is directly above our heads. At an average of 100,000 light years across, even the spiral of the galaxies above us are formed with the exact design that the tiny shell is formed. This sequence, or blueprint, appears to be the trademark of a designer, a proof of a creator, something left behind indicating the one who was there, a fingerprint. As we scan our universe, from the tiny flower to the awe-inspiring galaxy, we see the fingerprint of God.
Even the greatest of the scientists, they understand that there is a divine person who is working behind all the managing and organizing of this universe. Albert Einstein, he tells that there is a perfect brain behind all the natural physical laws which are acting in the universe. Schrödinger, he tells that it gives a lot of factual information, puts all our experience in a magnificently consistent order. But science is ghastly silent about all and sundry that is really near to our heart, that really matters to us. Yes, he is pointing to God. He is pointing to the person who gives the answers to all the unanswerable questions present in the universe. We have our very dear Sir Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton, he is telling that the most beautiful system of the sun, planets and comets could only proceed from the counsel and dominion of of an intelligent and powerful being. This being governs all things, not as the soul of the world, but as Lord over all. And on account of this dominion, he used to be called Lord God, the universal ruler. Max Born, he tells that the key to the deepest secret of nature is revealed in the greatness of the creation and the creator. In fact, Ramanujacha, he tells that the equation for me has no meaning unless it represents a thought of God. Heisenberg, the famous scientist for his uncertainty principle, he's telling that there is a higher power not influenced by our wishes, which finally decides and judges. Michael Faraday, the person who discovered the electricity and electromagnetism, he says that we ought to value the privilege of knowing God's truth far beyond anything we can have in this world. My friend, these scientists, they are so powerfully equipped with the latest technology, and they are the people who have invented technologies. In fact, Lord Kelvin tells, if you believe in science, you will be forced by science to believe in God. How come? Because all these vectors, they point towards the one person, that is God. When a train is running, a person may think that the bogie is running separately when he is looking from inside. But the person who is from outside seeing it, he understands that there is an immediate cause, the immediate bogie next to it, which is pulling the bogie. And then ultimately the bogie is being run by the engine. Similarly, my friends, this whole scenario, this whole physical, metaphysical, chemical, geographical, and all varieties of knowledge, all fields, there is immediate cause, remote cause, and ultimate cause. And the ultimate driving force behind this entire universe is God Himself. In fact, He is controlling even us. We may choose some things in our life, like we may choose the apartment where we want to stay, our job, the college where we want to study, and where we want to go out for a picnic. But can we choose our intelligence, our face cut, beauty? Have we chosen our parents? So, who has chosen them? The laws, universal laws, karmic laws, karmena devanetrena, these laws, they are governing all of us. So, we cannot break these laws. What we can do is, just we can break ourselves against these laws. For example, a person who commits a criminal act, he is supposed to be punished by the government. Similarly, a person who breaks the universal laws, he also gets punishment by the karmic laws. And it does not mean that the government of a country, when it is punishing a citizen, does not mean that the government is cruel. In fact, that is what is required for the citizen to be reformed. Similarly, Lord, who is such a loving person, when He is seeing that my son is going on the wrong way, then suffering is being given to him. So, it's a very simple thing to understand that how to avoid suffering, start obeying God's laws. Like, I remember when I was small, I saw small white peppermint balls, and when I went near it, just about to swallow, my mother came and she just took that and gave me a tight slap. That was naphthalene balls. Similarly, God, who is the supreme loving Father, who is making our heart pulsate He's making our kidneys work. The whole immune system is working. All the things which we need, the necessities of life, they are being supplied by him. So in fact, when he also sees us going in wrong direction, there is punishment according to these universal laws. So these karmic laws, karmena daiva netrena, they are universal laws applicable the entire universe, on each one and everyone. Once when I was giving class, that time a student stood up and said, "Sir, if God exists, why is not coming in front of us? I will count 10. If it does not come in front of me, means it does not exist. 10, 9, 8, 7, 1. This means God does not exist." Everyone started clapping. Why is it time? Okay. If Prime Minister of India is existing, let him come in front of me right now. I will count till 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's not there. Does not exist. So it's not a matter that God is our order carrier. No. We require qualifications to meet Prime Minister. Similarly, we require qualifications to meet God. Now we'll be seeing through a simple exercise how we can very significantly and very logically infer that there is a person behind this universal government which is working. Let us make a comparison between the national government, which takes care of us through so many ministries. Similarly, the universal government also takes care of us through different ministries. Like for example, the Home Ministry. How law and order is taken care of. A person who smokes, he gets bronchitis. A person who does illicit sex, he gets AIDS. So there is a proper punishment behind any rule you make. So we cannot break God's laws, but we can just break ourselves against God's laws. Similarly, there is electricity which is supplied at our home. Likewise, we have sun and moon which are supplying energy to us. Like we are being protected by a defense ministry, similarly we have ozonosphere. Similarly, we have our immune system which is working day and night to protect us from various kinds of diseases. Government also supplies books and education for the people to get educated to do right things. Similarly, the universal government also supplies us books like Vedas, Bible, Quran, Bhagavad Gita to take care that we understand what is proper and what is not proper. So this has a very amazing implications. Very important lessons we can learn from it. Like, first issue, behind every government there is Prime Minister. So similarly, behind this universal government also there is God. Now someone may tell, okay, but how do we benefit by understanding that there is God who is taking care of us? Let God be in his own abode and I am fine here. Is it really required? So once there was a race between a Mercedes and a Luna. This Mercedes was way ahead. And Luna was trying very hard. Do you think Luna can ever win? Impossible. But then as Luna was going, there came a helicopter which pulled up the Luna and placed it on the finishing line. My friends, no one of us is perfect. We all have shortcomings in our life. If we connect to the source of positivity, the source of all enthusiasm, the source of all strength, we get the advantage of connecting to higher power. People nowadays, they talk so much about peace. But have we really achieved peace? If yes, then why there are so many countries coming up? Why there are so many states coming up? In fact, why there is so much disharmony even in a single family? Handbook of Religion and Health, it tells that the people who attend weekly spiritual program, they live for an average 7 years more than their counterparts. They have a less probability of having depression, suicidal tendencies, criminal delinquencies, drug abuse, premature sexual involvement, and they have a positive outlook towards life. You see, this information, this knowledge about God is not something ordinary, my friends. All the ups and downs of our life, we can be stable. Like, I remember once when I was traveling in a Mumbai local train, there I saw, within the whole chaos, confusion, people are shouting at each other. You cannot hear even the person who is just beside you. And it's really chaos. In that situation, there was a small kid, 5 to 6 years old, peacefully sleeping on the shoulder of his mother. How come? Because he understood that this mother, my mother, is taking care of me so much. I can fully be dependent on her. So, we also understand that there is a divine person who is taking care of us even right now. People who don't believe in God, even to him, even to them, even to all the people who don't have firm belief in God, even to them, God is providing food, air, water. We have not produced any of these three in the laboratories. So if God can take care of the people who deny his existence, how much Lord can take care of a person who wants to follow what Lord is wanting him to follow. Harvard University, Harvard mention, it tells that human brain and mind is wired for God. When it comes to health, the faithful have God on their side. Also, it's not just for our benefit. In fact, it can benefit the whole of the society, the whole of the world. On Delhi bus station, when the bus came, two people were struggling to get inside. One was a youth, other one was an old person. Now, while they were struggling hard to get inside, meanwhile, the bus just left. So this old person, he became very angry and he said to the youth, "Oh, you don't know even to respect your elders? What kind of teachings you have got?" This youth was telling, "Oh, old boy, old person, what's this? You don't have anything to do in your life? Get lost. I just got late for the meeting." And while they were quarreling with each other, at that point, this old man, he recognizes something and he asks, "By the way, what is your name?" This person tells, "You want to complain? Go and complain anywhere." No, please tell me, what is your name?" "Okay, my name is Amit Oberoi." "Yes. What is your father's name?" "Sumit Oberoi." "What is your grandfather's name?" "Oh, why you want to know this? Please tell me." Ashish Oberoi." And as soon as this person uttered Ashish, this old man started crying. Tears came down rolling his cheeks and he said, "I am the brother of your grandfather." And as soon as both of them, they realized that there was a relationship between them, sooner they hugged each other and they were so happy about it. This is what can happen. to accept universal brotherhood, we have to accept universal fatherhood. We are talking so much about peace, but how far we have been successful in achieving it? But if this understanding we get, that all living entities are part and parcels of Lord, are the sons and daughters of Lord, they are our fellow beings. Now you see how much sensitive we will be to hurt our brothers. Who will like his brother to suffer? This dynamic and this most powerful effect can happen when we accept God as the Supreme Father. Our next session, we are going to discuss something really very interesting. What happened when 6 technocrats went into the laboratory of forests doing experiment on the same object using the same process, but all of them came out with different results. We'll be learning the science of epistemology, the science of knowing. And my friends, I'll be ending it with the small quotation. Winners don't just exist or survive. For a higher cause they unflinchingly thrive. When the inner God consciousness comes out alive, that's when meaning comes to life. No God, no peace. No God, no peace. Thank you very much.